Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Far Beyond Flavor. I'm Zach.
And it's Matt.
And this is a show where we review, taste, take in some of our favorite musicians' own food and drink products. It's kind of crazy, as we've discussed before, how so many artists put their names on pretty much anything, including food and beverages. In this show, we take a look at whether or not it's actually pretty good, whether it's a good representation of that artist's own personality and music, or if it's just a blatant attempt at selling merch.
I'm not going to lie, when you told me about this and you wanted to do wines, specifically rosés.
I just like to have a glass of wine with you.
Well, I mean,
we've been friends.
We could always have a glass of wine. I mean, we don't need an excuse, but I mean, it's very weird that these are specifically rosés.
Yes.
And this one is from Snoop Dogg. So the winery that put this one out is called 19 Crimes. You might know them if you've heard about the augmented reality labels. They're the ones who kind of are doing a lot of that, and this one is no exception. This one is quite weird because this is Post Malone.
It's Post Malone, and he wanted to create this as a way to show that not only does his musical taste vary from all different types of genres, but so does his alcoholic intake.
Clearly.
And he wanted something that's a little bit for those who like to party, but wants just something a little fancier.
Yeah.
Or more high end.
Well, this is a French rosé. It's Maison No. So
came out in 2020 during the summer. And
so did this one. This one came out in 2020. It's the Cali Rosé.
Yeah. I mean, it never did you think that we would be doing a review on, not just involving two hip-hop stars, because we love hip-hop, but that's not our huge foray. And I can also, I don't know about you, but I'm not a huge connoisseur of rosés either.
I'm not a connoisseur of wine, period.
I like it.
I typically don't like wine, and I'll tell you my specific palate, because I feel like that's going to color some of my decision, and maybe you're like me.
Look at you just using fancy words like
I have to.
Palate, like.
So I
drink, that's it.
I don't particularly like anything dry. Mm-hmm. I also don't particularly like anything that's overly sweet, like
so then you will hate this episode.
Well, maybe we don't know. I've never tried it before, but I know stuff like what you would drink in college, like that Mad Dog 2020 wine. That stuff's just straight up nasty. But anything that's like on the super sweet side, I don't like. It's got to be like a nice.
I'm impressed that you drank wine in college.
We drank what we could in college.
That's fair.
So
that's the differentiation.
So yeah, anything really that's kind of like right down the middle in terms of flavor and in terms of dryness is what I tend to go for. Normally it's on the red side, maybe a white every now and again. So I'm very curious. I don't think I've ever really had rosé? Question mark?
I'm sure you have.
Maybe in passing.
I definitely have. I don't mind it. I like it.
What's your preferred palate?
Usually non-alcoholic. I don't know. I mean, I like a good red. I actually like a good white. I'm not really a huge picky wine drinker. Chances are, there's so many rules of wine that I've probably broken them all.
Maybe.
I like sangria. But I also, so in addition to, I don't mind rosé, I actually do like, I mean, who doesn't like Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
And also, side note, I mean, I think it's fitting that we're trying one of his wines because in a past If You Have to Pick Three episode, where we determined the best drinking songs, I voted for Snoop Dogg's Gin and Juice. So it's not too crazy to think of him putting his name on anything, especially a wine. Actually, maybe out of all the drinks, a rosé and a wine would be the weirdest, but
I figured he would have like a gin and juice mix.
sure
Maybe he has in the past and I just
does.
missed it.
And I actually like Post Malone to a certain degree. I'm not as fanatical about him, but I also know a lot of people have a strong distaste for him. I appreciate him, respect him, and I'm not as surprised. I don't know why him doing a rosé isn't the most shocking thing in the world. I don't know.
I don't know. He's done so many different things. I think he does Takis too.
Yeah, he does everything.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to trying this.
All right, so let's just jump in and try them.
Let's start off with 19 Crimes Cali Rose from Snoop Dogg. But first, so here's what makes this a little cool. You already talked a little bit about this.
Yes.
About the augmented reality that they added into this. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah. So what happens is you download on your phone an app. If you just type in 19 Crimes and you search for it, it'll come up. You download it, and then you hold it up to the label after you give it access to your camera, and then it'll start talking.
Let's just show this label.
Only let me label me. I put my face on a Rosé bottle. My name is Snoop Dogg, and I love R-O-S-E. Glasses up if you're a real OG. Victory is sweet, but infamy is forever. Grab your glass and toast. We party hard on the West Coast. I want to thank me for not being a basic G.
And any 19 Crimes bottle of wine will work with it. So if you happen to see this in the store and you see other 19 Crimes and you have the app, you just walk down the aisle and hold it up to any of them and it'll start talking.
It's free entertainment.
So, yeah, I mean, that's really, I don't know if it's the whole kitsch behind 19 Crimes, but I've had 19 Crimes before.
I've never had.
Not this one specifically.
Is 19 Crimes good?
Yeah, it's actually, it's pretty good. I think I had one of their reds.
It's a cool label.
It is. All right, let's crack it open. And we're not getting fancy. They're twist-offs. Or this one's a twist-off, I should say.
I'll pour you first.
I thank you.
Say when.
When? I don't want to waste it if I don't like it.
That's true.
Okay, now.
Or don't waste it if you do like it and you want to say
Interesting.
Hold on now. Jeez, let me get a sip first.
Okay, it's got a... See, this might just be me not knowing rosés, but smelling it, it's got a little bit of a champagne smell to it.
Yeah, I think, again, comment and let me know how wrong I am on this, but if you like champagnes, usually rosés are, especially if it's chilled, are kind of, it's like, you'll probably like a rosé.
Yeah, this one actually isn't bad. It's not super sweet.
No,
which I really appreciate that it's not super sweet. You could drink this. Yeah, if this was cold, you could definitely drink this on like a hot summer day.
Well, let's not spoil it. It's chilled to perfection. We'll cut that part. I like it. I can definitely see how, it's clear that 19 Crimes is legit. It's not just some company that's trying to get on.
No.
Like, it's good wine.
Yeah, no. This one really is a legit bottle of wine.
Yeah. And they're based out of Australia, but this is a California wine, if I read that correctly?
It's a Cali Rosé. California Rosé wine and bottled by 19 Crimes in Sonoma, California.
Okay. So, out of 5 blunts, what would you give this ranking?
I'm going to say this is probably a 3.5.
Yeah?
Yeah. What about you?
I'm going to say 3.5.
The half is because the other part got smoked.
Yes. It's mid-smoke. No, I enjoyed the few sips.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I could have more than one. I don't know if it's because it's a rosé or if it's just a little too sweet. I could see me getting a little too sweeted out if I had more than a glass of this.
I don't mind it. It's not, like I said, it's not super sweet.
Yeah.
It's just sweet enough where I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
So let's jump in and taste the next one.
Let's do it.
All right, so this is Post Malone's Maison No. 9, a French rosé, if you will. This one got a little plastic peel off.
Classy.
I like the top on this one.
Yeah.
If I can get it off.
It's a lovely bottle.
It's not as easy to get off as I thought.
Should have saved my 19 Crimes.
There we go. All right, so this one, a little fancy. It's got, if you're familiar with good, like a good decanter, it's got like a decanter top.
Oh,
Push it in, it seals it, and you just have to wiggle it out a little bit to get past the seal. And then,
fancy.
so that's really cool. I like that.
So
I'm a sucker for kitsch like that.
all right. Wow. So right off the bat, also, so I noticed also the color. Maybe I should have paid attention to this a little bit better of 19 Crimes, but I do feel like this is a little less heavy pink.
Yeah, this is definitely a more like pale rose color. This one definitely is more pink. You can even see it in the bottles.
And
Like if you turn them, like look at that. Look at the color difference in those.
That's, yeah. I actually, at first I thought it was the bottle itself, but now I'm real, like now that we have it in our glasses, that's the wine. And I'm
This definitely smells more wine.
Yeah, it's not as sweet smelling as 19 Crimes. Let's see.
Oh no. Oh, can we insert that TikTok song? Oh no, 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 no.
This is
Ooh, all right. I could see somebody liking this. This is,
yeah, it's,
how do I
this
describe
might not
this?
be, this might be someone's whole kit caboodle, but this is definitely
Like
a little bit more of a soury taste to it.
yeah, definitely
than
sour, definitely drier.
The smell also takes me aback before I go to sip.
It definitely smells more like
It tastes like
how do I describe
a
this?
slightly aged apple cider.
I don't know what that smells like. I'm trying to relate it to.
Well, no, not smell, but taste.
What does this smell like? This smells like, it almost smells like a Chianti, if that makes sense. It's like on the drier side. Yeah. Oh. Wow. No.
But no, what's interesting is that the first few tastes, definitely a little bit more on the soury side. And then, I don't know if it's just because the water was in the glass from when we cleaned it out, but I definitely kind of got
I really
sense
like that.
like
I want to take Snoop and put that in there.
like just a little bit like it weakened by the last sip. I don't know. This was, I don't know if one is more of a truer rosé than the other, but
I
definitely has a weirder aftertaste than I was expecting.
So I'm going to give an opinion, and I don't know if this is going to be correct. I don't know if it's going to be even applicable, but I'm going to say this. This is meant to be more accessible.
Yeah.
This is if you want to be, if you're more into wine, you're going to like this. And I think because it's French too.
You know, also, so you know how we said with this one, Snoop's 19 Crimes, Cali Rose, I don't know if I can have more than one glass because it's too sweet. I don't know if I can have one glass of Post Malone's because it's just, almost, not sick taste, but just definitely like a...
It's that wine, it's definitely that drier wine.
Yeah.
I can see somebody who, like I said, it reminds me of a Chianti, and the smell and the dryness reminds me of a dry Chianti that I just don't like.
Yeah.
So if you are into wine and you are more of a connoisseur and you want to try something new, this might be up your alley. Maybe. This one is definitely a party rosé, I want to say.
Which is funny because you would think that Mr. Party, Mr. Beerbongs and Bentley, like the guy, Mr. Rockstar, who likes to party and it almost like kind of wanted like a higher end party drink. You would think that was
but
what
that
he
could
wanted,
work
but
for
this-
a higher end party though.
Maybe.
It really could. For me, who's not a wine drinker, I could absolutely see somebody who has a better wine palate liking this.
Yeah.
Because I know that my wife, she is into drier wine, and I'm curious to get her take on this, but I have a feeling that she's going to like this, whereas this is going to be too sweet for her. And for me, this is the one I would gravitate towards.
Although I'm not even sure I would totally gravitate to it either because I think it's still too sweet.
See, I don't think it's...
I could do one glass of this I can barely get through one glass of this.
So out of
Five beer bongs and Bentleys.
Yep.
2. And I'm being respectful.
Just one because
Just one for you?
it's too dry. I don't like
I have
dry.
a feeling that just like Post Malone's music, it's going to be very decisive on whether or not you like this.
Yeah. But then again, everybody's taste in wine is
So, you know what though? We talked about real quick before we sign off here. We talked about the taste.
yeah.
Packaging wise.
This all day.
Really?
All day.
I was going to go with this.
No, all day this one.
Yeah.
The label I've seen and I've had 19 Crimes before, and the label with the AR thing, it's cool for like 5 minutes.
No, you're right. And you know what? This one you would feel less embarrassed about having at your table.
Not only that, I'm curious. Let me see something.
I mean, it's cool. Look,
No, this is okay. This is etched on the bottle. So if you really wanted to, you could finish this, and you could keep it and fill it up with something that you actually enjoy if you didn't enjoy it.
It's a good bottle. It definitely.
I mean, like I said, this gets me. I like this.
You're right. This is definitely a little bit more niche-y. I mean, if you're a fan of Snoop Dogg, you want this.
Yes.
This is cool. If you want a rosé at your dinner table for guests, you're a little embarrassed about what you pick. Like this one, honestly, I mean, the sword imagery you can kind of see from like Hollywood is Bleeding. Just like if you knew about some of Post Malone's more recent music, you'd get some of the imagery, but it's not over your head. Like this is almost like you can tell that Post Malone's like, you know what? I want to have a little back end money while I'm doing the music. This is some extra revenue that doesn't even have my name attached to it.
And that's what I like about this one.
Yeah.
Is that it's
this
not
one
flashy.
is definitely like, hey, I'm Snoop Dogg. Here's my name.
Right. This is definitely not flashy. And I was thinking about this too when I was buying it. I was thinking of everybody else who kind of has like different types of liqueurs or spirits. Like I think Dan Aykroyd has a vodka or a tequila in the skull. Yeah. Right. It's just a skull of vodka. And it doesn't, I don't think it has his name on it at all. Yeah. And there's a lot of other people who put stuff out like this that don't have their name. And I feel like you could show up to a dinner party with this, and if they're none the wiser to Post Malone and his music, you're not going to know.
It's kind of like even, I mean, if you look at Metallica's Black and Whiskey, and that's kind of their thinking behind that too, is that yes, it's very Metallica inspired, and even the logo is a little bit like inspired by Metallica, but it really, like they're trying to make it its own identity too.
Heaven's Door Bourbon, that's Bob Dylan's.
Hell, you can even look at, I mean, Sammy Hagar has a name on everything, but even like Cabo Wabo and like his tequila, in theory, it's its own revenue stream.
Right. I mean, well, that's a whole lifestyle.
Yeah, that's true too. But anyway, obviously, taste-wise, we gravitated towards this a little bit more, but we get the appeal of this.
Yeah.
It definitely is clear that this is a little bit more of a, hey, I'm Snoop, let me put my name on something, and it just so happens to be good. This is, you can tell that Post put some thought into it.
Yes.
Without his mentality and his own persona involved. So yeah, do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us?
Absolutely, because it's wine.
It's true too. In fact, do us a favor and educate us. Tell us what you think of both of these wines or what we have wrong about rosés in the comments of this video. Also subscribe to our YouTube channel to see more videos like this, as well as hear some awesome podcasts, as well as on any streaming platform that you can imagine. Special shout out to our sponsors, Lucky 13 Beard Co. and Rootless Coffee. Thanks so much for your support. Thanks so much for watching, and we hope you join us for another episode real soon.
Yeah.
Cheers. It's empty.